My Hero Academia Season 4 Part 2 Review. My Hero Academia Season 4 Part 2 contains episodes 14 to 25 of the season, or episodes 77 to 88 if you count series as well. It begins with the final episode of the arc that began in the previous set. Although I'm probably not sure most people reading this have at least watched Part 1 by now. I won't go into much detail as to what episode 1477 contains, but it's an emotional ride and a satisfying conclusion, where some pro heroes try to deal with the League of Villains, who see a 2-and-a-bit episode story focus on the two mostly our edgy members of the core MG cast and Bakujo and Shoto, who were absent for the previous arc after failing to gain their pro hero license due to their, well, moody edginess. The main part of the challenge is to win the hearts of a bunch of delinquent children who have given up on the idea of heroes, something then they obviously struggle with. Alongside them are some of the other characters from the pro hero exam story in the previous season, and overall it does a good job of adding a bit of character development to two members of the cast who are clearly going to play a big role in the future. This leads into a longest story arc of the season that's based around the UA school running a school festival and the A1 class that the series focuses on deciding to hold a concert. Our lead protagonist Deku gets more focus here. He's not only desperately wants the festival to go on uninterrupted for a rather sweet reason that it won't spoil, as once again the final episode of the previous arc kicks off this set off, but he ends up having to deal with a pair of criminals known as Gentle Criminal and his sidekick La Brava. They're fun characters who aren't villains and such, but still commit smaller crimes and broadcast them on the MG equivalent on YouTube. There are some fun and sometimes quiet emotional moments here, and it all ends at a rather pleasant note as the class sing their song. It has to be mentioned that the song titled Hero 2 is currently sitting at 74 million views on Toho's YouTube channel, where Crunchyroll's upload of it clocking 3.8 million. So, if nothing else, the combination of the story certainly worked for a lot of people that we get the final 2 episodes of the season, which focus on Shoto's father in Devar, as it officially becomes classed as the #1 hero on the hero billboard of All Might's retirement, and we see how insecure he's in a position. He's held along by the newly debuting character, unless you watched the second MG movie before these episodes aired like I did. Hawks, who comes in at number 2, is a short but entertaining mini arc. It ends the series on a well-animated and adrenaline pumping fight. On that note, it should be obvious by now, the animation still spots on, and Yuki Hayashi's soundtrack still packs a wallop both in heartfelt scenes and the more action-heavy moments. They got across just how much the first episode of this set is the final episode of the previous arc. Episodes 1477 still has Polaris by Blue Encount and Kokai no Ota by Sayori as an opening and ending respectively. The best of the set is Star Maker by Kanabon is its opening, and Shout Baby by Raiko Shoko Shakai is its ending. The on-disc extras are a couple of expo panels, in this case from Anime Expo 2019, Fan Expo 2019, and Funimation Con, that range from plain interviews to a game show with the English dub voice actors, and of course a couple of inside the episode dub interviews, and the usual clean opening ending. There is a limited edition version up for grabs as well, and another reversal of the regular order of things. It comes with the rigid case you can store Part 1 in, rather than the other way around. It also has an 18-page hardcover art book, some art cards, stickers, a keychain, and rather appropriately 3 guitar picks. That's a lot of extra gubbins with a relatively minor increase in price, and certainly a lot more than you normally get with long-running series. The second half of My Hero Academia may be less consistent than the first, but it still hits some great hikes and moves several characters in a bit. The show, and therefore the manga is based on, does seem to go drunk of a pattern of a very rather heavy story arc followed by some more downtime, and in this case, the downtime is favorable, enjoyable, and still worth your time. 8/10.